Roadies, take note. Here are the 5 most notable road bikes for 2016. You might not be able to buy them, but you'll want to check them all out. With the new Madone, Trek obliterated the notion that fast bikes are harsh bikes. The aero gains made on the Madone are easy to see in the wind tunnel and easy to feel out on the road. Just as impressively, the bike rides like a plush luxury vehicle. The ISO-speed decoupler is easy to point to and pretty easy to understand. The pivot point turns the entire seat mast and seat tube into one flexing suspension post. The front-end engineering does similar impact absorption through layup and design. Trek engineers also did extensive work on the brake calipers to create something that hides from the wind but actually, works, unlike far too many aero brakes out there. We also have to give Trek kudos for the relatively easy adjustability on the brakes. The new Madone is silly fast and eerily smooth. Nice work, Waterloo. With the new R3, Cervelo has jumped on the road disc bandwagon. To keep the R3's handling racy, Cervelo's engineers managed to maintain the same short chainstay length of 405mm, rather than going to the full 415 recommended by disc brake manufacturers. Cervelo achieved this by using a custom FSA crank with a 5mm offset to ensure correct chain line. Here, you can use any 135mm road disc wheel you like. Every other aspect of the R3's geometry stays in line with the current R3 model. The Venge Vias blends super time trial bike aerodynamics with road race bike geometry. A few years in the making, Specialized claims the new Vias is a minute faster than the old Venge, and a full 2 minutes faster than a standard road bike over a flat 40K. The aero gains are made thanks to a truncated head tube, an integrated and low-riding stem, an elongated front brake mounted behind the fork, and a rear brake that's tucked midway up the seat tube. Cables and wires are internally routed, even through the stem, and the tubeless ready wheels are a bold depth of 64mm. At 1,150 grams, the Venge Vias frame is certainly not light, but after long-term modeling work with McLaren, Specialized is confident that the massive reduction in aero drag will outweigh the weight penalty for most riders in most situations. While Trek, Specialized, Scott, and others battled each other in the wind tunnel, Cannondale has been focusing almost entirely on ride quality. Cannondale engineers increased vertical deflection front and rear on the new Super 6 Evo, with the rear triangle and fork making double-digit improvements in cushioning, and the slender 25.4 seat post adding to the tranquility. But make no mistake, the Super 6 Evo is an out-and-out race bike, with an enormous 73mm bottom bracket serving as a launch pad for the drivetrain's efficiency. Although not designed as a super light bike, the focus here is ride quality, remember. The Super 6 Evo still weighs in at a Tour de France-ready 777 grams. When built up in the black ink configuration with Dura-Ace and Envy, it weighs a mere 5.8 kilos, or just shy of 13 pounds. Scott broke ground with the original foil 4 years ago, delivering a very fast bike thanks to truncated aero shapes that still handles like a great race bike. It was fast in the wind tunnel, decently light and crazy stiff, perhaps a little too stiff for some. The new foil builds on the aero gains and takes a quantum leap forward in terms of comfort, with vertical compliance jumping up a whopping 89%. Scott engineers heavily reworked the tubing shapes, flattening and lowering the seat stays, wrapping the down tube around the back of the fork's crown, and flattening the top tube to slide under the integrated handlebar and stem. The rear brake went underneath the bottom bracket shell, not for aerodynamics, Scott says, but so the seat stays could be designed entirely for comfort, and not as a brace against braking forces. Fans of the current foil's snappiness under acceleration will not be disappointed by how this aero rides.